Hello, my name is Michael Ramage. I'm the director of the Cyber Education and Research Center, and today we are joined by Brian Toms. Brian, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I am good. Well, let's just kick it off by sharing a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And well, my name is Brian Toms. I am the IT director for Union County, Kentucky, local government, fiscal court, and multiple entities here. Um, I'm 38 years old. I'm originally from Union County, and I'm a graduate of the Murray State University TSM program, Telecommunications Systems Management, in 2017. Um, One of my favorite experiences and how I got to meet Dr. Ramage.
Thank you. That was not too long ago. Those are good experiences. You wear a lot of hats in what you're doing, and you've worn a lot of hats throughout your career. If you would share a little bit about your career journey so far.
Well, my wife will tell you I'm a glutton for punishment, apparently, because I seem to find uh, careers where that is a necessity. You have to wear a lot of hats, or jobs, you have to wear a lot of hats. So, yes, in the past, I started like any other typical IT guy, help desk. Everybody generally starts at the help desk. And honestly, it's the best place to start because you get exposure to all the issues. So I actually started at a Fruit of the Loom corporate office in Bowling Green, Kentucky in 2009 as a help desk administrator. And that was a very large corporation, little eye-opening for me. It was a worldwide headquarters. We had 12 people just on the help desk with a manager. So that was my trial by fire. And looking back, I can say I was green, very, very green at the time. So fast forward 2 years, had an opportunity to join Owensboro Community and Technical College at their help desk and get closer back to Union County. And well, I stayed there for 7 years, and that part of my career I like to think of as that's my growth phase. That was when I really came into my own, and it was afforded to me by OCTC and the people around me, and just the benefits of working in the public sector. I was able to go on to get 2 degrees, certifications, and become an adjunct professor, which I still do today at OCTC, just by starting off at the help desk there. And, I attribute that to the relationships and the people there and just doing my very best every day to help them. After that, I went on to Southern Star Southern Star Central Gas Pipeline in Owensboro, Kentucky. And this is my advanced phase. I would like to think if anybody's ever worked in the gas industry or around any type of critical infrastructure and system control type environments, it's high stress, high pace, but very rewarding and very educational. I was exposed to so many different softwares and processes and security methods and frameworks and just implementations of all kinds. And, it rounded out the areas where I felt not as proficient in. That job really rounded me out and helped me. And I eventually was promoted from a system administrator to a security analyst. And that was really my first official cybersecurity title in career. But I've been doing cybersecurity work my entire career, and up until the last decade or so, it was an afterthought, right? You did security last measure, and wow, it's changed now. So, and I've been here. So after Southern Star, I started here in July of last year as the IT director for Union County. The first time we've had an IT director in county government. And it's going to be the greatest opportunity of my career in being able to offer my services to my people, my county where I'm from, and secure our data the best way possible, and also just provide modern services.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I really like the point you make that while you've been in IT roles, different IT roles, security is always part of it. You know, networking
Always.
and IT services and security. Nowadays, you can't have one without the other.
No. And
Or at
now,
least,
you know, and after Southern Star, I mean, I really changed my whole approach to security. Now it's at the forefront of every thought process, every design. And, you know, I go into it with a framework in mind, and zero trust framework is what I'm kind of going towards right now. And I want to get to a passwordless model eventually. Um, but you know, I design everything around that. And I wouldn't have known to even think like that if it wasn't for Southern Star and the critical infrastructure facilities. And you know what's really I've noticed too is the big push and the merge in physical security coming into cyber, and that's an interesting a whole nother topic for another day.
that's
But
right. That's right.
so
Well, let me ask, I think that over the last, uh, handful of years, you've had some really interesting experiences with security in your current role and even in your past roles. So share a cool cybersecurity experience from your career that you've seen that you can share.
all right, yes, absolutely. You know, being now I'm in a local government position, you know, our philosophy is open and honest and transparency. So obviously not put the organization at risk, but there's still ways to do that responsibly. And what that does is it grows public trust and lets people know, hey, he really does got our back. He's what he's doing is substantial, because the truth is most people don't even know how valuable a good cybersecurity setup is, or you know, and how important it is, especially nowadays. So one example I can tell you for sure, and this is kind of an umbrella example, but and I'm going to mention someone, but when I first started this job and I came in and I looked at the current network, I realized there were some gaps that need to be filled and assessed, and just kind of and put together an initial plan. And I found these free services through CISA.gov that were available to local governments in Kentucky. And you know, I was able to make some connections based off past relationships at OCTC, at Murray State, and different areas. And I called Colin Glover of CISA, who is the cybersecurity coordinator for Kentucky, and he came down and spent 3 days with me here. He did a complete physical walkthrough, on-site walkthrough, and assessment, and then we started doing uh, external and internal vulnerability scans, and it's still ongoing. We're still working together today. So the 3 days I had with him, I learned a lot, and he's from the federal level. So that to date is my best experience, and I can't tell you all the government secrets he taught me, but I got plenty of good knowledge. No, but no, his level of knowledge is outstanding, and he is willing to help. And more people need to in the government level need to know about all these services available.
Yeah, he is a great resource, and that agency is a great resource that is not tapped enough for sure. What is one tip that you would give to a student? We're going to have a lot of students that are watching this and that are wanting to get into the IT career, wanting to get into cybersecurity. What is one tip that you would give to them as they start pursuing this as a career?
I'll go ahead and say this, and it's hard to imagine it until you go through it. But when you get out, there's a level of competition, and everybody's wanting that initial job, and they want to aim high, and that's fine. And I think motivation is a good thing when you're starting out, but don't ever expect to learn everything in school. Go out, take the help desk job, get in there and shine at it. Be the best. Give everything, you know, just treat people with respect and help them. And then things will start happening, and you'll kind of fall into the groove and see how the business processes work. And that, you know, going back, it was always about degrees, certifications. How am I going to set myself apart? And I do think that a bachelor's degree and a CCNA certification, or even some CompTIA certs, are a good a way to set yourself apart from others. But don't ever let that replace experience, because experience will give you so much, and so many more connections with people, and opportunities will open up. So I think I focused too much, my first 5 years trying to be competitive, but not know how to be competitive, trying to set myself apart. And hey, 15 years later, I stumbled my way through it, but now I feel like I was exposed to many sectors of IT that I otherwise wouldn't have been. And that's helped me overall in my career. So, but just, keep trying, and every day is going to be a challenge. It's never the same. And that's the exciting part.
Well, I think that is strong, sound advice, and I appreciate that. And you really answered my last question, so I'll skip that one and just ask: are there, any parting thoughts or any closing comments?
Yeah, I just urge, students to kind of start looking at all the opportunities out there. It's not as cut and dry as it used to be. You're not just going to be a security engineer or a network engineer or a help desk. And, there are so many evolving jobs, and with the new technologies and the way things are going, find your niche and explore it and find what you love to do. I know that's generic, everybody says it, but you don't want to reset late in your 20s, early 30s, when you knew all along what your passion was. So
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you very much for your time today. We really do appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of your day.
yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.